we're doing it according to what we understand, how we interpret it, and based on the configuration that we created through our lifetime to this age. And none of us is 20, right? All right, so let's lie down. And take a minute to come to the here and to the now. And whatever was in the morning is in the past. And whatever is after 12 o'clock is in the future. And carve this time as a gift for yourself, without any worries and thought about what if and what when, and just let that go. You can always visit it later. So we'll start by just laying down and figure out, kind of feeling what's poking, what's not poking, which area holds extra tension that maybe is not needed, and maybe it is needed. And maybe it's needed when you're standing up, but it's not needed when you're laying down. When we lay down, we have less gravity to deal with. And put your fingers on the edge of the ilium, of the hip bone, and kind of rock your hip bone right and left, kind of like you're rolling like a ball from right to left. Across the sacrum, across the bone that's in the center between the two cheeks of your buttocks. And see if you can very lightly rock and rock and rock and rock. And when you rock, is it just the hip, or are your legs rocking with it? Are your feet rocking with it? Can you feel movement underneath your heels? When you rock the hip very lightly with the fingers, maybe even one finger, just giving it like a impetus, are you rocking the shoulders with it? What happens to your breath? And slowly ease the rocking, soften it, make it smaller, make it lighter. Get it out of the exercise category and get it into as if you're putting a baby to sleep. It's a tiny little bird that you found, or a kitten, and you're just trying to calm it down. So you're trying to get to the nervous system rather than to the musculature. Smaller and lighter, smaller and lighter, until there's no movement and that inner baby is asleep. And just breathe for a minute and see what has changed. Can you even tell what has changed? Maybe you're so wired into the outer life that you don't even know how to pay attention yet. And start turning the less dominant leg, whichever it is, if you know or not, just decide on a leg, not the one that you want to turn, but the one that you don't want to turn, and start turning the whole leg in and out, in and out. So the toes all the way up to the acetabulum, to the top of the femur, are turning in and out, in and out. You decide on the tempo. I hope everybody's phone is on mute. I just remember that I did not mute mine. And move to the other leg. Now the left leg will turn in and out. And can you find a way to do it where it is not effort? full, but it's close to effortless. So the leg is like a vector that can roll inside the hip opening. And let go. And open your legs to a small V. And see if you can sense that the right leg is the same distance that the left leg is from the center of your body. And just for a minute measure, lift your head and look and see if it actually is or not. And go back down. And roll both legs in and both legs out. And notice that going in, you have to put a little bit more effort. And when you go out, you can just let gravity bring you back. So roll in and out, choose the tempo that allows you to feel what is happening. And now go ahead and roll in and press the lower back to the floor as you roll in. And when you roll out, allow the lower back to release. Again, exhale, roll the legs in and lower your lumbar, the way you put your belt down towards the floor. And inhale and bring the legs back out and relax. So you're contracting the transverse abdominalis, the muscle that goes from hip to hip. And roll the leg in and press the area of your belt down towards the floor. Hold it there. And then release with gravity and inhale. And again, exhale, find a tempo that's right for you. Hold it there. So there is a muscle that attaches from bone to bone, from ilium to ilium in the front. And that's the only way that I know to engage that muscle. Try to take a bigger bit. Notice if one leg creates a little bit more difficulty on the turning in. Usually both the legs have very different sensations. And let it go. Notice how relaxed the feet are, how close the little toe to the ground is. And from here, start creating a circle with your foot by bringing the little toe up, close to the floor, up and up towards your ears. Roll on your heels, bringing your belly button up towards your chest, and the toes are up towards your nose, and roll in like we did a minute ago. And down from the center and relax. So the legs are still in the V. The little toe starts coming up, close to the floor, up and up and up, moving the hip, the sacrum, the flat bone between the two buttocks, up until you find your lumbar close to the ground. The toes are foot of inflection, the toes are up. You're rolling on your heels and you're slowly turning in so the big toes are almost touching one another. And you're not hurrying up, you're slowly making the circle down And only when the toes are away from the face, the longest distance, then you let go and allow gravity to relax and turn the legs out. And again, the little toe is coming up from the outside. You're shifting your weight up on the lumbar area. You bring the big toe up towards your belly button. You bring the big toes in towards one another. And then you're making the full other half circle on the inside until the toes are what we call it in dance in point. The foot is stretched. Both feet are stretched. And only then you relax and you let the legs relax with gravity. And now that you know it, you can find your own tempo and create a full circle. And what I'm interested in is to see the effect of the feet rolling in your pelvis area and in your lumbar area. You're connecting the feet to the lower body. Perfect. Beautiful. I found that this kind of internal work on the muscles and the organs is way more important for us as women, everybody, but especially women, than doing crunches. Try not to crunch your toes. The movement is on the ankle and the heel. And if you want to change the direction, for healthy measure, to see if you break an ankle, go ahead and change the direction of the circle. And for not to get bored, so that means that the toes will come in and up, and that's when the lumbar will flatten, and then the little toe will come down to the floor towards the outside, and then you relax. And the heel is making a full circle, and if you know me, you should be able to get it up even higher than the lumbar, and you would feel your neck and your chin and your nose, your head moving as one with the circling around the heel. And as it gets clearer in your mind, see if you can maybe increase the tempo, only if the quality does not change. And see if your whole body is moving up and down along the spine, connecting between the rotation of the circling of the heels to the nose moving up and down on the ceiling. Good. And let it all go and rest. So that's a nice way to wake up in the morning and kind of get your own body connected to another, one part to another. And we're going to continue by imagining that you have a string attached to your knee, and that string will be pulled like a marionette close to the floor all the way up until the foot will be dragged, until you come to a point that you can turn the leg and you find a place in the socket to turn the leg without any extra tension. Okay, so it's passively. Somebody is pulling the string. Or if you need two strings, you can have a string in the big toe and a string in the knee. So we're going to drag the right leg, and we'll find a place to turn the leg in, and we're going to drag the left leg, and we'll find a place to drag the leg in, and we'll let them all go, boom, with real relaxation. Completely let go. And then we'll drag the left one first, and then the right one, And so now that you know about the passive kind of passivity in the movement, start looking at the flatness of the backside of your body and notice the movement of the pelvis to the right when you bring the right leg, to the left when you bring the left leg, the flatness of the lumbar, and then when the leg goes down, boom, the lumbar is coming a little bit off the ground. And play with it and allow the body to move the way it needs to move. Try to connect one body part to the next. Don't isolate. There's plenty of time that we isolate. Try it slow, try it fast, try it one leg at a time. Make a little study of it to see when are you able to connect, when you are not able to connect. Are you able to really let the legs go and release? I think it was on yours. Yeah, that flat, that was good sound. And next time you come up with the legs, stay with the legs standing, the feet on the floor, the knees up to the ceiling. And now we're going to isolate with the legs will stay steady and the pelvis will rock again from right to left. What I usually call from number 3 on the clock to number 9 on the clock, number 3 being on the right side and number 9 being on the left side. I like to put my finger on my hip. It kind of gives me a connection to reality, so I know where it is, the 3 and the 9, and I don't go into 3 in 5 minutes. So the pelvis is moving, and I love imagery, so I feel like it is maybe a bowl full with fruit or little fruit, and I'm rolling it to one end and I'm rolling it to the other end. And rest in the center. The next time we're going to, let's go to number 3, to the right. So all the little balls are rolled on the right. And start moving from 3 to 2, rolling them to 2. Back to 3, rolling them down to 4, and back to 3. Rolling them back up to 2, through 3, to 4, and from 4 through 3 to 2, all the way down to 4, and all the way up to 2, all the way down to 4, back to 3, roll them to the center of the bowl, underneath your belly button, close to the spine, right there inside all the organs, and roll them into the left to number 9. The feet are strong, the knees don't move. We're isolating, we're moving the pelvis. We're going up to 10, down to 9, and down to 8. Into 9, into 10, into 9, into 8, into 9, into 10, and to 9. And this side might be not as smooth, might be a little more rusty. So just try to do the best you can, maybe smaller, maybe slower, and come back to 9, and into the center, and rest your hip, and lengthen your legs and see how it feels. Just let it go and see how it feels. Let's bring the one leg up again, dragging it. Let's bring the other leg up, dragging it. And now move all the way above your belly button to what would be your 12. And move to 1 to the right, and move to 2, and very smoothly move to 3, and down to 4, and down to 5, and down to 6, and back into the center. And down to 6, and from 6 to 5, and to 4, and to 3, and to 2, and to 1,
I have no idea.
and to square, and back into the center. Okay. So your legs are here. 12 would be somewhere here. 6 would be down here. 3 would be here. 9 would be here. So now we're going to shift the weight to 12, pressing 12 down towards the floor, and moving to our number 11, pressing it down, to 10, pressing it down, to 9, pressing it down. So now 3 is almost in the air, and 9 is pressed down to the floor. Continuing to 8, continuing to 7, continuing in between your legs to 6. And release in the center. Let's have a little spin. So we're shifting the weight to number 6 in between your legs down. So your lower is off the floor and your tailbone is touching the floor. So this is off. Now we're going to come up, I'll put my finger here on the just we're going to come like this. Okay? So we are at 6, we're going to move to 7, we're going to move to 8, we're going to move to 9. When we're at 9, 3 is up a little bit off the ground almost, and 9 is pressing into the ground. We're going to continue up to 10, to 11, and to 12. And then you release in the center. And then you let it go. So that's another way to get the pelvis a little bit awake in the morning, especially relaxing when you lower the legs. If you need to open your eyes, I So the pelvis has each side, the two sides of the pelvis, 2 bones. Each side has 3 bones fused together. The ilium, the ischium, and the pubis. So what we did, and there is one joint here between the sacrum and the ilium. That's the only joint in the hip. And that joint is like this. So many times with years, with the way that we move, it kind of either shifts and one hip is more forward. One hip may be lower. Or it can be lower and forward. It can be back. And, it can be in what I call rustic in here, where it doesn't really move in the way that we want. So a lot of my work is separating the legs and the pelvis and the spine to figure out what we're doing, how we're doing it, and to lubricate it. I live life very simply. I try. Oxygen and blood, and a little bit of electricity. So, in my world, this fixes the body. This is what we need for healing. But, so this is like a little bit of like a little injection look into what the classes usually look like. So let's continue. Let's bring one leg up, drag it. Let's bring the other leg up, drag it. Turn both legs to the right. Bring your arms to like 45 degrees. Take the upper leg, which is your left leg, and bring the knee up above the other leg, keeping it parallel to the floor, and back. So the upper leg is swinging up and swinging down, swinging up and swinging down, swinging up and swinging down, swinging up, lower it down towards the floor. If you want to put your hand on top of it for weight, go ahead. And just rest there and turn your head to the opposite side and try to have both shoulders on the floor. And breathe. The upper leg is above the lower knee. The upper leg is above the lower leg. And then bring the knee up towards your chest and roll back to the center and lower your legs. Drag one leg up, drag the other legs up, turn to the left with the knees. Bring the right leg up in the air, parallel to the floor, swing it up and swing it down. Swing it up, swing it down, swing it up, swing it down, swing it up and put it on the floor above, not on top, above the left leg. Put the hand on top for weight and lay there in that twisted position and breathe. Both knees are close to the floor. Both knees are close to the floor. Bring the knee up towards the chest and roll to the center. And lower the legs down. Take your left hand and put it on your chest and slide it on top of the right arm and see how far you can roll and then come back. But don't force it. So the right arm is straight, the left hand is stroking your body and you're going on top of the right hand, rounding your back and see if you can roll towards the side and then roll back. Back and forth in the tempo that fits you, rolling to the side, turning the head down and back, and rolling back to the ground on your back. So you're moving from supine, from laying on your back to laying almost on your front. From supine to prone. Starting the rolling from the movement of one hand on top of the other. See if the movement, if the rolling can come from the strength of the shoulder and the back, not from the hip. Stay on the side. Now roll the hip forward and back. So one hand is on top of the other hand. Don't move the hands and roll the pelvis forward and back. And forward and back. Don't move the hands. Hand on hand. Don't move the hands. Interlace your fingers. It's only the pelvis and your lower back. Rolling forward, rolling back. Don't move your hands. Rolling forward, rolling back, rolling forward. Come to the center, stay on the side. Take your left leg and make it stand. Release the interlacing. Now, go back with your upper body and come up with the upper body. Go back with the upper body. The leg is in behind the leg. Put the leg in behind your other leg. Yeah. There, behind. That's it. The hands on the floor. And roll the upper body back and forward. The only reason I did it because you were all cheating. You're cheating. Oh, I'm cheating. You're cheating. Regardless of my investment. I'm joking. You stay here. Now put your hands one foot down in front of your chest. There. Now roll to the back. Not with the hip, with the shoulder, with the arm. There. And come out. Slowly. Feel how your spine is rotating.
Feels great.
Huh?
Feels great.
It is, yeah. Isn't it?
Someone's moving my down and left.
You're cheating too. Yeah. Okay, so come with the hip here. Okay. And now just move your upper body. There. Yeah. And you're cheating too. Everybody's cheating. What's going on? Come on. Up to the side. Up to the side. The cheater. The cheater is only the upper body. Come on. Come with the hip to the side. Lift your hip to the side. Yeah. Stay there. Yeah. Press your feet to the floor. Right. Now move the upper body. Back. The other way. The other way. To the floor. Open. Go. There you go. I know, we're saying out of bed. Come on, no leg. Don't rub the hip, the upper leg. Woo-hoo. No hip, press the leg, upper leg. No hip. Lift the hip up, stay on the side. There. Come on, go. There, that area behind where the bride catches, nobody wants to move. Okay, now sit up. Not that we don't want it. Come on, sit up and sit. Yes, it does. We're running out of time. Okay, so we worked on the legs, we worked on the pelvis, and I'm trying to get to move here. And this area is there. And nobody helps us with chairs and stuff. We just don't move it. And if we move it this way, but we don't move it that way. Okay? So what I wanted you to do is to, I'll do it this way, is to stay with the pelvis to the side and to come flat here. Well, this is staying up. So your upper back is moving. Okay? Let's do the other side. And now with the policeman.
Set us up again, no, other side.
The other side, yes.
Now, I had trouble. First, I was using the feet, or my feet was pushing up.
Yeah, the foot is actually a very good idea for pushing up, but I'm now creating like a stabilization of the lower body so you can start creating rotation in the vertebrae. Yeah. Keep on going. No, a little bit. Yeah. Put your foot under the knee up so I don't have to stand before it. First I can go to somebody else. Keep on rotating, breathe, breathe, come exhale. Good, good. Now try to bring the pelvis a little bit more up. Maybe through the leg behind the other leg. Okay, and now see if you can soften the upper leg and rotate right and then left. Yeah. Okay. It's more different. What? It's different. Yeah, I bet. Yes. Don't let it get full up. You're doing this right. Come on, come on, come on. And now upper body. Rotate. Rotate. Back to the floor. There. But don't let this move. Just let this go. Yes. That's okay. Just as much as you can. And then. But don't let this move so much. Because we're trying to get this to move. Yeah? Okay. Alright. Okay, and roll to the back. Bring both hands above the chest. And move both arms straight to the left. And come back. Don't bend the elbow. And come all the way to the right. And come to the center. And then slowly roll to the side and come up to sitting. Bring one leg over the other. And this is kind of what you probably know from yoga, hold it and turn backwards. And see if you can count how far you can go back. And come to the center. Now bring your arm up, roll it, and come all the way back. So now we're working all the way from the hip through the whole spine. And come forward, and up, and back. And forward. Allow the ribs to come up. And roll it back. Stay there for a second. Keep your head back. And release. Bring this leg forward and do the other. Hold this leg. And roll back. And forward. And now with the arm going up. And back. And see if you can lift the not the hip so much, but lift the ribs off the hip and look back and rotate right there in the center of your back. And move forward. Up and over. And stay there. And release. Start making circles with the elbows. And try not to skip parts of the circles. And change the direction. Did you hear my phone?
Yeah.
She doesn't. She doesn't like my accent. And then elbows up. And release. We're not going to go down, you're always up down. And elbows up. And release and shake, shake, shake. And just a word of warning, you may feel the center of your back because you work a little bit different today than you usually do. And I thank you.